Welcome back to another exciting video where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your everyday pocket change. Today we are diving deep into the story, value, history, and massive collector demand for the 2000 mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This seemingly ordinary coin from the year 2000 has shocked collectors around the world because rare varieties and extremely high-grade examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts of money. The highest known sale has reached an incredible $47,245. Yes, a single penny made in the year 2000, something millions of people might overlook, has changed the life of its lucky finder. Before we talk about how this coin became so valuable, let's go back and understand the history of the 2000 Lincoln penny. This penny was produced at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small letter D located just below the year on the front side of the coin. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies in the year 2000, so at first glance this coin seems extremely common. But as every true coin collector knows, even among billions of coins, special varieties, minting errors, and top-quality examples can become extremely rare. That rarity is what pushes prices into the tens of thousands of dollars. The 2000 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which began in 1959 and continued until 2008. The obverse side features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Even though the design is familiar and recognizable, small imperfections and unique minting conditions can transform an ordinary penny into a treasure. So why is the 2000 penny so valuable today? The main factor is condition. Almost all coins from circulation suffer from scratches, wear, discoloration, and surface damage. But a very small number of coins survive in nearly perfect condition, appearing almost exactly the way they looked when they were struck by the minting press. These flawless examples, graded by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can reach extremely high prices. A 2000 penny in the highest possible grade, such as MS68 or better, becomes incredibly rare. That is because almost no coins survive from mass production with absolutely perfect surfaces. Collectors compete intensely for top-grade coins because they want the finest known example for their registry sets. When only one or two coins exist in such a high grade, the value can skyrocket. That is exactly what happened with the 2000 Lincoln penny. One of these ultra-rare, nearly flawless coins was graded at such a high level that it sold at auction for $47,245. That sale alone awakened interest around the world and motivated collectors and hobbyists to check their change for potential hidden gems. Another reason the 2000 penny is valuable is because of minting errors. The year 2000 produced some interesting error types across different denominations. On the penny, collectors have found off-center strikes, double die obverse varieties, die cracks, broad strikes, and coins struck on improper planchets. Any of these errors can increase value significantly depending on severity, eye appeal, and rarity. Some of these error pennies have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars even without being in mint state condition. One of the most exciting things for beginners and everyday people is that these error coins often show up in pocket change or old jars of coins kept in homes for decades. Imagine finding a coin with a visible doubling on the date, or on the lettering, or discovering a penny where the strike is off-center, revealing part of the blank planchet. These unexpected mint mistakes are like hidden Easter eggs for coin hunters. Let's explore some of the most valuable possible varieties of the 2000 penny. First, there is the double die obverse variety. On some coins, the lettering such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 2000 may appear doubled or thicker than normal. Doubling is caused during the hubbing process when the design is transferred improperly. A dramatic double die can raise the value of the penny anywhere from a few $100s up to several thousand depending on how visible the doubling is and what grade the coin receives. Next is the off-center strike. If the penny was not perfectly aligned when struck by the dies, the design will appear shifted to one side. The more off-center the strike is, the more valuable the coin. A penny that is only 10% off-center may bring around $20 to $50, but one that is 50% off-center with full visible date and mint mark can easily be worth several $100s or more. Another variety collectors look for is struck-through error coins. These occur when a piece of cloth, metal shaving, grease, or other debris becomes trapped between the die and the blank planchet during minting. Coins struck with foreign material can display unusual textures or missing design details. These errors are unique because no two struck-through mistakes are exactly the same. Scarce examples can fetch a few $100s depending on how dramatic the error looks. Die cracks and die breaks are also popular. These appear as raised lines or bumps on the coin caused by fractures in the minting die. While small die cracks are common and not worth much, larger dramatic die breaks known as cuds can be worth anywhere from $50 to hundreds of dollars. The year 2000 produced several noticeable die crack varieties that collectors love to find. All these error types contribute to the rising interest in 2000 pennies. But the biggest money still goes to the highest grade mint state examples. The record-selling 2000 penny reached $47,245 because it was graded nearly perfect with almost no marks visible even under magnification. It takes exceptional preservation for a coin struck in such massive quantities to remain untouched. Many of these top-grade coins were saved directly from mint rolls, mint sets, or bank fresh circulation before they could be damaged. Now let's talk about how you can check your own 2000 pennies to see if you might have a rare and valuable one. First, examine the mint mark under a good light source. Make sure it clearly shows the letter D. Next, check the fields of the coin. These are the flat background areas surrounding Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. Look for smooth, mirror-like surfaces without scratches, dents, or spots. If your penny has a bright red color and no visible wear, it may be in mint state condition. But to get the highest values, it must be nearly flawless. Next, study the lettering and date closely for any signs of doubling or distortion. A magnifying glass or phone macro lens can make this easier. Any doubling or unusual thickness might indicate a valuable doubled die. Then check the edges and center of the coin for signs of off-center striking or broad strikes. If the rim looks uneven or missing on one side, that is a clue you may have an error coin. Also examine Lincoln's coat, beard, and hair details. On higher grade coins, you will see crisp, sharp details with no flattening or wear. On circulated coins, these details will be smooth or faint. The stronger the detail, the higher the grade. Collectors often look at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A well-struck coin will display clean, sharp steps. If those steps are worn away, the grade drops significantly. If you think your coin looks extremely clean, bright, and sharp, you may want to send it to a grading service for authentication. A certified grade can dramatically increase the value of your coin because buyers trust professional evaluations. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC regularly sell for much higher prices than raw ungraded coins. Now let's look at the current market value. The highest sale price recorded for this coin is $47,245 for an ultra-high grade example. Lower mint state examples in grades like MS65 or MS66 can bring anywhere from $10 to a few $100s depending on color and overall eye appeal. MS67 examples can reach over $500 to a couple $1,000s. Error coins vary widely but can fetch large premiums if they display dramatic features. Even circulated 2000 pennies can be worth more than face value if they contain certain errors. Many collectors actively search rolls from banks hoping to find rare hidden treasures. It is still possible to find these coins in pocket change today because they are from a relatively modern year. The story of the 2000 penny teaches us an important lesson. Never underestimate the value of coins just because they are modern or common. Today's video is going to take you deep into the world of rare and valuable Lincoln cents, and today we're talking about a coin that almost no one notices in their pocket change, yet its rarest variety has shocked collectors by selling for an astonishing $65,654. Yes, we are talking about the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. A coin that millions of people touched, spent, ignored, and overlooked, and yet a tiny number of these coins became worth more than a luxury car. So stay with me until the end, because knowing what to look for could change your life. especially if you have old jars filled with pennies at home. Let's begin by understanding the basic idea behind the 2014 Lincoln penny. Like most newer cents, this coin was produced in massive quantities at the Philadelphia Mint. That is why it has no mint mark. Many people think a missing mint mark means an error, but for Philadelphia business strike pennies, the missing mint mark is normal. However, the value is not in the mint mark. The true value is hidden in the condition, the rare mistakes, the sharpness of the strike, and certain unnoticed minting anomalies that slipped past the mint's quality control. The 2014 penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that started way back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, the coin design changed from wheat ears to the memorial reverse, and finally in 2010 the shield design was introduced to represent Lincoln's preservation of the Union. So by 2014, the shield reverse was already in use. Millions of these coins entered circulation, but only a microscopic percentage were preserved in perfect condition. Now here's where the real value begins. In coin collecting, collectors chase the highest graded examples. Even a common year coin can become unbelievably expensive when it receives a top grade like MS-69 or MS-70 from a grading company. And that is exactly what happened with the 2014 no mint mark penny. The coin that sold for $65,654 was not an ordinary circulated penny. It was graded at the absolute top of the scale, making it one of the finest known of its kind. The 2014 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. This composition is extremely delicate. The moment it leaves the mint, the surface can develop tiny scratches, spots, or imperfections. Even the friction from a mint handling machine can ruin the chance of achieving a top grade. That is why high-grade modern pennies are incredibly rare. Most of them get damaged the moment they fall into a bag or bin before being shipped out. Now imagine finding one of these coins in pristine, untouched condition. It is like discovering a time capsule. When grading companies examine modern coins, they look for microscopic details under strong magnification. A tiny nick, faint line, or tiny spot can drop the grade significantly. That is why collectors go crazy for top-graded examples. The 2014 penny that sold for over $65,000 was flawless to the point where graders found it to be nearly perfect in every way. And when you only have one or two coins in this condition out of millions, the competition becomes fierce. Collectors, investors, and even museums battle to own the finest known example. But now let's talk about the hidden features to look for. First, the sharpness of Lincoln's jawline and hair. A strong strike shows clear separation between the hair strands, sharp lines on the bow tie, and bold letters in the motto. Second, the reverse shield must show crisp borders, strong lines in the stripes, and complete detail around the ribbon that reads 1 cent. Any weakness reduces the value. Third, examine the fields, the flat open areas of the coin. If they are mirror-like and free of marks, the coin could be extremely valuable. Another factor behind the skyrocketing value of the rare 2014 penny is the growing demand for modern coin varieties. Collectors today are beginning to realize that modern errors and high-grade coins are just as valuable as older ones. For example, some 2014 pennies showed die cracks, cuds, off-center strikes, and plating bubbles. While these are not worth $65,000, they can sell anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on severity. Also pay attention to doubled dies. A doubled die on the date or lettering can significantly raise the value. Always look closely at the letters Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. A clear doubling effect can turn a regular penny into a valuable collectible. Even minor doubling attracts attention because coin enthusiasts love modern mint varieties. Next, let's talk about the history behind why this coin became so popular among collectors. After the 2010s, the United States Mint faced several production changes, including pressure to lower costs and improve efficiency. During these years, the mint struck billions of pennies annually, but the machinery frequently experienced die wear issues due to the high production demands. This created many unique die varieties, especially on shield cents. Since these varieties were not intentional, collectors only discovered them later when examining coins under magnification. This sparked a new hobby trend known as modern variety hunting. Collectors began sending thousands of 2014 pennies to professional grading companies hoping to score a top grade. But out of these thousands, only one or two achieved the extremely rare near-perfect grade that broke auction records. That coin was placed in a major auction event where multiple bidders pushed the price higher and higher. When the bidding ended, the final price was $65,654. This sale shocked the numismatic world and inspired even more people to search their pocket change. Now let's talk about how you can check your own 2014 pennies at home. First, avoid handling the coin with your fingers. Use cotton gloves or hold the coin by the edges to avoid adding fingerprints. Second, use a magnifying glass or microscope. Even a regular phone camera in macro mode can reveal marks and details you might miss with the naked eye. Third, compare your coin to known high-grade examples online. Look at the surfaces, the shine, the luster, and the sharpness. If your coin looks unusually clean and sharp, it may be worth submitting for grading. If you choose to grade your coin, submit it to well-known grading services like PCGS or NGC. They will professionally examine the coin and assign it a numerical grade. If your coin receives an extremely high grade, especially MS68 or above, its value could skyrocket. Even MS67 coins can bring hundreds of dollars. And if miracle happens and it reaches MS69 or MS70, you could have a life-changing coin in your hands. Collectors love modern coins because they represent a fresh challenge. Anyone can search pocket change and possibly find a valuable hidden treasure. You don't need old collections or rare mint sets. You just need patience, sharp eyes, and curiosity. That is why videos about rare modern pennies keep exploding in popularity. People watch and then immediately start checking their own coins. Now let's move deeper into understanding why the 2014 penny is special even beyond its value. The shield reverse design symbolizes unity and strength. The single shield represents the nation preserved during Lincoln's presidency. The Union remained strong despite the Civil War, and the shield reflects Lincoln's efforts to keep the country together. Every small detail on the shield has meaning, from the horizontal bar representing federal government, to the vertical stripes representing individual states protected under one nation. The obverse still features Lincoln's portrait created by Victor David Brenner, originally designed over 115 years ago. This continuity makes the Lincoln cent one of the longest-running coin series in American history. That alone makes each new year interesting for collectors. As we move toward the end of the video, remember one important thing. Rare coins are not always old. Sometimes the rarest coins are right in front of you, hiding in everyday change. The 2014 no-mint mark penny is the perfect example. A modern coin, worth just 1 cent, yet its best preserved example brought in over $65,000. That is the beauty of numismatics. Anyone, anywhere, can stumble upon treasure. Before we finish, here's one final tip. Always check coin rolls from banks. Many valuable modern pennies come straight from uncirculated rolls where they avoided circulation damage. People who purchase rolls often find high-grade coins inside. This is one of the best ways to find valuable modern pennies for free. So if you have a 2014 penny at home, take a moment today to examine it.